Hello, Prophets, and welcome to another episode of Technical Analysis by the Crypto Prophet. Great to have you all on the channel. Recorded a video last night talking about how this was going to dip today, but somehow it didn't work out with capturing the video properly. So didn't put one out last night. Back today just to kind of reiterate what we were talking about. Let's draw some levels right here for us, guys, and let's just see real quick. We broke out of this somewhat of an ascending, narrowing wedge. And now we're coming back down to probably, most likely, retest around this 45,000 mark here. Up, down, and we want to look for that launch off at this point. So let's look at some other key levels here coming up. Okay, so as we can see here, we've got a lot of support and resistance in this box, which is just where we came up to. So if you could see right here, we've come up into this box, and we're going to naturally get some resistance. With support, we broke through. We haven't been able to get back up and retest this. Of course, it's going to probably, most likely, this is one big swoop down and swoop back up to get this as resistance, and we want to try to break through up through this purple quicksand right here. Now, here's our target up here at 56,000. Right up here, and we've got other levels of solid support over time, but then we did break through. That means most likely it's going to be resistance. We're going to hit some other levels along the way. We've got 48 right here. We're going to hit 50. It's going to be big here at the top of the box. We get above 50, we could probably shoot right up to 56. Now, if we take our volume right here during this last move up, you can see that point of control was down here at 41,000. So if we're going to be making this move back down to here, we do want to look for that support and bounce off and get up through this here. Now what happened was this diagonal line right here is our 2-year trend line. So we did break above it, which is great, but now we kind of fell back below. We fell back to 45. That was expected. We do want to really get down to this 45.2 and really look to take some longs here. If we don't, we're going to look to take some shorts, because that next level we're coming down to is right here at 42. Very strong level right here. 42 all the way through, all the way around right here. This is the level we're going to look at if we break down back into this wedge. And we want to say, okay, here's another level. Are we going to bounce up and try again after this? If we break down further, we're going to look to get to this point of control level here with the volume, which is down here at 41,000. Of course, if we break down below that, we look to bounce off the bottom of the triangle, perhaps even try back again and go this route. So the whole point is that if we look at our volume, we've got a red sell-off stick on the daily. Okay, that means that we're most likely going to be continuing to come down for the next couple of days. And we want to really keep an eye on this 45.2, 45.1 to 45.3 level right around here for a liftoff. We've got this 2-year trend line that acted as a little bit of resistance, certainly acted as resistance here. Some resistance broke above a little bit. It was acting as support here. Let's see where this can take us. So a lot of levels coming into play. Target is 56 for this wedge breakout move. Doesn't mean we can't fall back into the wedge, okay, and still be in the wedge and then get back up and still hit that 56 mark, because that would still be the target for the wedge, moving up to 56,000. Of course, we could break down as well. At that point, we'd be looking for a bounce off here at 34, where we did before, because we've made higher lows. Down here, last year at the 29.9, never went that low again. We're making higher lows, and we've made a higher high, so it looks like we're in the upward momentum. We don't say bear market yet, but we are overall leading towards this is a bullish move. So let's just pull a fib from here and say our target's 56. Let's zoom in and check out golden pocket is right here at this 41,000 level. So that's where we'll be looking for a lot of support. If we break down back into this wedge, we would look for this level, 41.3 all the way up to 42,000. 42 is a big one, and right here, 45 is a big one. We could still lift off. So That's the fib. Let's look back and look at some levels here previously with kind of, what we've done, how things have looked in the past. So we say, okay, here we are. Went up for a week, retested. Went up for a week, gonna retest. So we're doing the step up. Solid up, little retest, solid, very solid up. Should be a little retest, we'll keep moving up. You think we keep moving up in steps in a very, very uniform, bullish pattern way. Now, if we look back to previous times when we started going up, little pullback, up, little bit of pullback, try to get up. Now, the reason why these were getting stopped because this was acting as resistance, we've broken through that. So we want to say, okay, this is looking different. Had we been rejected here, we could look back to this to be if we got rejected here, we'd look back to this to say that's probably what's going to happen again. Now let's look back to when on a bigger picture here about what's going on. So we came up, down, up, and down across. Up, down, up, and this, and then down and across. Now we want to go up, down, up, and then this, and then down and across. Okay, that's just repeating the previous two patterns since November 11th of 2020. So, if we just look at this, zoom in on it, what we can expect. That's one up to 60. Now, of course, we're going to get resistance along the way. So realistically, it's up, down, up. It could even come back down, but then launch up and come up. And it's always going to be like this, right? We're going to get that big resistance at 56. If we can break above that and launch off there, we're on our way to repeat the pattern. As you could see previously, it gets choppy along the way. So that's very likely what's going to happen here with the Bitcoin price is we are going to continue the upside, get to that 56. Right now we're just stepping down a little bit. Of course there is really no reason. Of course there is really no reason to think we won't. We just need to watch our volume because ever since we came down here in the low, we haven't had a green volume stick higher than this, which is what we want to see. Plus our volume has topped down a bit here. Now, let's go and look at market cipher. So now on the daily, we've red dotted. And as you can see with the money flow here, up, and then now we're kind of heading down. The VWAP's down right here as of yesterday. So what we want to see is we do not want to see the money leave Bitcoin and come down and get into the red down here again below the 0 point. We do not want to see that. So what we want to see is something that's more like this with the cipher is where we do retrace back to the 45, but then we get a bounce and we come back up and we continue this blue wave and the money flow does come down but then continues back up. With the wave as well, the RSIs start to separate and we could ride along the top. We got this really nice trigger wave right here coming up from the bottom before, and that launched our money into the green right there. Now, RSIs were overbought and starting to head down. So if we look, now anything can happen with these. These can come down that 45 and continue up and ride along the high side as we keep pumping upwards. Now if they come all the way down, this is where we would look to where we would be getting back into the wedge. Right here. Back into this wedge and continue to get squeezed and squeezed until boom, popping out again. So long term, bullish. Short term, gonna retrace back to the 45 most likely in the next few days, and then launch up. Maybe look to next Monday as that launch up, and looking fantastic here. Bitcoin, baby, it's crypto profit. All right, slap in the face.